Is this thing on? All right, there's the beat. This is Addison coming to you from the shop community space. I am here with Langdon Pleasant, a recent acquaintance that we just ran into each other at.
Good old Nappers.
Good old Nappers, man. so Langdon invited me to come shoot at rodeo down the road, Pleasant Farms and Fencing Company. So tell us about that.
Well, we just put on team ropes. A lot of folks, everybody calls it a rodeo, and I guess it is a rodeo event, but we just do team ropings. We do a few a year typically, and it's just a fun time. Really, it's good food and friends and family, and that's about all there is to it.
Now I know I don't call barrel racing rodeo.
Yeah, well, I mean that's part of it too. You know,
okay.
There's 7 events, and that's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were telling me about the Pleasant family and a little bit of their history here in Angier, man. Fill us in.
Yeah, I grew up here. I've been here my whole life, except a little bit I left for college. But you know, my family's been here. I think we got graves on the backside of my uncle's farms from the 1850s. But
that's cool.
A lot of old buildings around, and my great grandfather has the farm still there. The home place is still there on 210 and their house, and a big old mule barn, and there's the old general store there they had, and there's actually an old train depot there a lot of folks don't know about. And but they were farmers, and he was kind of an entrepreneur. He bought and sold farms and houses and a little bit of everything, and had 10 kids. And my granddaddy was the baby boy of the family. And in 1952, he bought our farm from my great grandfather, and that was actually the year my dad was born. And they moved out there from town. They were living in town before that, and so my granddaddy farmed that property up into I think it was the late 80s, 86, 87, right before I was born. And he got into real estate, and after that they leased it out to other farmers. But
so you're an 88er.
I'm 89.
89, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 86. I figured we were close. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But so Pleasant Farm and Fencing Company, I saw a lot of you weld the fences in for farms and livestock and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything, but you know everything we do is primarily agriculture fencing. That's what I like to call it. We do wood post on woven wire, or woven wire on wood post. Excuse me. We do vinyl fencing, board fencing, and a lot of pipe. That's our favorite, is to do pipe, which is kind of a Texas style, out west style fence. But that is our favorite.
Is that you use like a galvanized pipe?
No, it's raw metal pipe, and we paint it.
Okay.
And in the years past, we've used a lot of oil well pipe, so it's reclaimed out of oil wells.
Okay.
We've kind of swapped over. Now we're using a lot of new pipe now too. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this old well. Excuse me. Old well pipe. I guess that'll. I mean, it's proved its test. I was just curious about corrosion and stuff, because
that's one reason we switched to new pipe a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, where we can, we're switching over. A lot of the pipe, the old well pipe we get's in really good shape, and you know, once we paint it lasts a long time. And when you get out west, there's a lot of people that just don't paint it because I mean it's thick. You know, a lot of it's quarter wall, and it's going to take a long time to rust through it. You know.
Yeah.
But.
Well, hang on a second. Hey, Mindy.
Trying not to.
Why are you taking a pause? I need a sip of that water over there.
Oh yeah, good? Handle that.
Can we pause and go and come back on?
Oh yeah, I'll cut it out.
Okay, all right.
And we'll be right back from Is This Thing On and the shop community space.
Get me on the hard hitting questions on the pipe there.
Oh yeah, and nobody's going to have any idea what you just said, but I understood most of it. All right, so. Man, I'm about to show it here on the video, but you got a new entrance out there to the farm. That looks good, man.
We did. You know, we wanted to build something that kind of showed what we do, you know. And when people come to our house, we wanted it to be what we like to put in. So that's what we did.
Nice. And who you said somebody local painted your sign?
Yeah. Oh man, I'll thank him just a second, man. That guy is great. It's Stray Voltage.
Stray Voltage. There we go.
Stray Voltage, yeah. Stray Voltage out of Clayton. And that guy, look him up, man. He does some phenomenal work. Really does.
I think I'm going to need some lettering on the side of my truck when I get it fixed.
Man, he does a bunch of vehicles.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. So how long have you been? How long you been roping, man? That was a new experience for me.
Yeah. Man, I grew up as a kid wanting to be a cowboy, I guess, and my granddad had horses when he was a kid, and my daddy did too. And then they got out of the horses, and they were just being against me not getting horses. They did not want to get back in the horses. And I was 13. I got my first job running a weed eater all summer.
Nice.
Weed eated all summer long, and I think I got done, and I had $1,600 saved up. And they said, "What are you going to do with all your money?" I said, "I'm going to buy a horse," And so it started there. And, right maybe a year after I got my first horse, I started swinging the rope a good bit. And so I was 14, 15 years old, and I'm 35 now. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally, I love horses, man. I don't know. I feel like they speak to me somehow, some ways sometimes. It's almost like reading a face,
I've been addicted since I was a youngin'. I mean, my granddaddy loved Westerns, and I'd sit in his lap or lay in the living room and watch Westerns all the time, and I think that was the start of it, and I've been stuck with them ever since, for good or for bad or for worse, I guess,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You roped with Bryson. Tell us about Bryson.
Man, I don't know a lot about the kid. I met him this weekend for the first time, and he showed up and did a good job.
He was ready to go. His dad was all about putting the action cam on him and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was the first team roping they'd ever been to, and I don't know how long. I was trying to talk to the kids, and there's so many people there, and everybody's pulling me in one direction or another.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to really get that deep into it, but they're supposed to be coming back to the house to practice some and learn more about them kids. But I will say that was him and his brother both. I think there was Bryce, and I'm trying to remember his brother's name, but man, them kids were motivated.
He was down for the cause. He was like, "How do I get this on? Do I strap this up here?
Yeah.
How do I turn it on? How do I turn it off?"
Yeah.
And then I guess it was his mom was like, "People learn a lot from the action cams and how to do it."
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's like anything, man. It don't matter if you're playing golf or baseball or rodeo or whatever. I mean, you got to see what you're doing wrong. So
yeah,
back in the day, the old timers used to stand in front of mirrors and rope the dummy so they could watch themselves, and try to fix, what was going on. So the cameras have changed the game just like it has with any sport.
Mm-hmm.
On seeing yourself and seeing what you're doing wrong and going to be able to go back and analyze it.
Yep.
Yep.
And so you play golf?
I do a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I do, yeah. I love it. I played hard there for a few years, and lately I've been so busy, it's cut back on my golf game, but I played 4 or 5 times this year.
Yeah, I started in March. It's been a weekly thing ever since.
Oh, yeah.
First game I chipped in for a birdie, and then
over.
Then the fever got me.
Yeah. That's how golf works. It really's got a way of suckering you in,
Yep.
Where do you play your golf at?
We bounce back and forth between Reedy Creek and Keith Hills.
I got you.
We've been at Reedy Creek for the past month just because Keith Hills, it's flooded, man.
It's wet, yeah. And Reedy gets busy. I love that course. I kind of cut my teeth out there at Reedy. But we play out there some, so it's tough. Golf, it got real, had a resurgence, I feel like, a few years ago. And, man, the golf courses have been busy. I play a little course up in Garner some, and I tell you what, I hate to even tell y'all about it because you can walk right in and play it, But it's called Garner Country Club.
I've heard about that one.
It's a 9-hole gym. I'm telling you, I've just had more fun playing that course than any course I've played. I got a lot of friends that play there, and it's fast. We'll go up there and get 9 in and get going.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow,
yeah, Reedy has been backed up a little bit recently, but
they do their best for what they're working with out here. They get a lot of Raleigh traffic.
Oh yeah. It's only going to get busier.
Yep.
So let's see, the kids roping contest. We're gonna throw a few of these clips in here.
Funnest part of the day. I mean, hands down, funnest part of the day. We didn't have this roping, and we didn't have as big a crowd as we typically do sometimes. With the hurricane going on, and there was a couple other rodeos going on, and a lot of different events. But we've had them where the kids ropings were the toughest roping of the day, where there was 20 kids in that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and but man, it's fun to watch them when they get serious, and every one of them never fails. Turns out to be a battle to the end, and that's how that one was this weekend.
It was, and I was going to bring up the I'm going to call him the Kingfisher.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of people don't know much about what fishing is with a rope. So if you want to explain it to them.
Oh yeah. So there's 3 legal head catches in team roping. You can rope them slick around the horns, you can rope them around the neck, or you can rope them a half a head, and that means you got 1 horn and around the neck also. Well, they don't put on your paycheck how you caught them. They didn't say, it's clean, it's a slick, clean run. We're gonna write the name. As long as you catch them, it don't matter. So them kids, man, if they split horns, which was not covering them, and they only caught 1 horn, they'd sit there and feed that thing back in there and try to again. They'd find a way to get it to go around the neck, so it was a legal catch. And that's an important skill. I love it because there's been a lot of ropings I've been to, and when it come down to the end, and when it come down to getting paid, it took fishing one on to get that paycheck. And that's if you know how to fish, it'll very much benefit you.
Man, and I would love to try that at some point, but I know I don't know, I'm very top heavy, but daggone, watching you guys trying to catch the toe.
That's hard. It is. The heelings, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is just what I saw from like an amateur thing. You got this guy coming up behind the calf. He's roping like this. He's got to wait for the gap between the rear hooves to leave the ground and try to rope both of the rear legs at the same time.
It's a timing deal, and it's a lot of it's no different swinging the golf club. Everything's got timing in it, but that loop's got to hit when the feet are back, and we call it a gate or a trap, and that's that trap's got to sit down there as his feet are back, and he's got to hop into it. And it's I'm a header. I always tell everybody I'm a header. I've been heeling a lot the last couple of years just because we got so many kids that come to the farm and practice, and most of them head. So I've been getting to heel a bunch. But, man, that heeling's put my tail, let me tell you. I feel like I'm starting over on golf all over again.
Yeah.
I'm working on my heeling. But it's very humbling. It's a very humbling sport.
Yeah, and to be able to throw it at the right time, and as soon as it leaves your hands, you gotta pull up to ring them in, and then you got to loop your pommel.
Yep. Yeah, you got to dally your rope ring, your saddle horn. That's what that is.
Saddle horn, right? Yeah.
Yep. And it can get a little hairy on the hillside because your horse is stopped, the steer is leaving you, and that rope's leaving you too. And it's just a old deal with team ropers. Sometimes you shake your guy's hand and he's missing a digit, and that's unfortunately that's a little bit common here and there. You'll see. I probably know 4 guys personally that they're missing their thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen.
I saw your buddy. I forget his name. I think he introduced himself as Jesus or Zeus or at the bar.
Oh man, who? George Bush is what he calls
George
us.
Bush.
I don't know why.
That's right.
That's Mitch Taylor. Mitch is my partner putting on the team ropings.
Okay.
He. I provide the facility and the sponsors and really hustle the thing. I get the flyer out and kind of run the office and everything. And a lot of times I supply part of my cattle too. And Mitch is the other side. Is he brings a lot of the cattle in for the roping, so we don't have to keep. Cause it takes 100+ head to run an event of cattle. So he brings some of those in and helps us sort cows and keep the event running.
I was really impressed. I mean that is a serious operation, and you got Queen Bee up in the announcer booth trying to keep everybody running. And
so we got 4 people in the office, and then there's 4 guys on the ground, along with me and him horseback that are kind of keeping things going. And then you got the flagger, which is the judge. He's the guy in the arena with the flag telling the girls in the office when the time stopped and if it's a legal run or if it's got penalties involved. So
okay, I noticed 1 leg +5.
Yep.
Both legs clean.
Yep.
Or no time.
If you leave too early, there's a laser barrier there. Okay, so you got to give a cow a fair head start, and if you leave too early, the buzzer goes off, and that's +5 also.
Okay, that's what that was. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Tell us about some of your sponsors, man. Some of your sponsors for the event.
I've got one that I'm pretty proud of. This is a hometown guy I'd like to talk about, and that's Wembley Hay and Cattle. Don Wembley, I think his name's Don Ed. I call him Don Ed Wembley. But hey, if y'all are in the area and wanting local grown beef, they're grown right here in Harnett County. They're naturally grown. He's the guy to talk to, and anybody can buy from him.
Okay, that's cool. Does he? Is there a special meat market around here that he sells to? Does he sell?
He doesn't. He sells everything himself. So when they take everything, to have it butchered and have it packaged, then he delivers it typically. And
Nice.
I think he's working on eventually having a storefront, but right now everything's delivered to you fresh when it's packaged.
Okay.
And you can look him up on Facebook, Wembley Hay and Cattle.
All right. We'll put a link right there.
Yeah, he'd be your guy to talk to. Double L Tack and Feed over here in Coates. Vicky over there is great to deal with. I've been dealing with her dad Leroy for my whole life. Been going over since I was a kid. They're not just feed and hay and horses over there. They've got clothes and boots and all kinds of stuff, jewelry, sunglasses. So go check them out. I'm pretty sure they sell dog food and all that stuff too. So.
And that I think they sell like the organic, natural stuff too, right?
They do, man. I think if you need it, they sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, chicken feed, goat feed. Anything you want, they got it.
So future events, man. When am I going to come shoot some more roping?
Well, me and my wife got our first kid on the way, and
I saw that. Congratulations, Maggie.
We got a daughter going to be here probably this week. She's due Saturday.
Wow, I didn't know that she was that far along.
Oh yeah. So I'm on standby. My phone rings right now. You can bet I'm answering it on this podcast. But
hey, that would actually be a good short right there.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're looking at possibly doing something on in the winter if we could catch some weather ahead of time that looks nice.
Okay.
And see how this baby goes, But we're definitely looking forward to our spring events. We typically try to have something into March 1st to April, another 2-day event. So it might be then when we get around to it. We do have a girl that's going to be coming and putting on some events at our farm. I think there's one in December and one in January.
Okay.
And her name's Taylor Dye, and she does fun shows for kids. And I mean, if you want something cool to look at, cool to watch, come watch it because they got it all. They got barrel racing, they got pole bending, goat tying, kids dummy roping. They do it all when they do it there at the farm. So. Oh,
that's cool. Oh, so who told me? What is it when you manhandle the
steer wrestling?
The steer wrestling. I was told I should enter that one.
Yeah. Well, come on to the farm, buddy. We'll hook you up. I've got.
We'll get you a real good butt whipping.
Yeah. So them team roping steers, they don't typically get thrown much, and they're pretty waspy. But I got some young bucks that come around the farm there, and they want to be steer wrestlers. So we'll let them try to throw them on the ground, not jumping off a horse. And we're going on about 3 years now, and we don't have one thrown yet. I mean, these kids have got scrambled down the arena pretty hard. So I'd love to see somebody get one on their side.
Oh, so tell me about that. So am I going to have to chase them down?
No. We'll have him out the chute, and you get him when he comes out of the chute, and then you got to throw him.
Oh, okay.
And, so we've had some pretty bad wrecks. I'll be honest with you, but yeah, it's always fun. Everybody gathers around when they decide to do something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, hey man, is this thing on? We never close it out. We tried and it never fails. So we always let our guests close it out. So Pleasant Farm and Fence and Langdon Pleasant, give us a good closeout, man.
You got me on that one. I will tell you a fun fact about Angier. Angier used to be a pretty big cowboy town back in the day, and it kind of fizzled out. But I got to count one day, and back in the day, there was like 5 or 6 arenas, rope pens in Angier.
Really?
And so then it kind of fizzled out. And there's a couple left around, like your guy there knew Ricky Sears. I used to rope over there at Ricky's all the time, and his pen's still there, and there's a few around, but we've kind of tried to bring back something that used to be in Angier,
I've actually a few of our clients when we first opened up, Teresa and Roy. I don't know if you know them. Teresa and Roy. I'm blanking on their last name, but I didn't realize that horses were kind of that big around here. And then I heard about Cowboy Church and
And I think back in the day they used to have a ton of fun shows and gaming shows around this area. And I mean, the Red Barn was actually a mule barn. I mean, it was legit. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I hate that restaurant's gone. That was some place I grew up eating at, between there and the family restaurant where Ed's is now.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's actually going to be a market bakery. They sell at the Raleigh Farmers Market, and they've actually got a.
I hope that's who I think it is. I know a girl that sells a bakery, has a bakery. Or I don't know. I'm trying to remember her name. I was in Boy Scouts with her kids when I was little. Might be, but whoever it is got the best cinnamon buns I've ever had in my life. That's
Oh
her,
yeah,
so.
and she would come in and talk to Brittany and like bring samples, and I'm like,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
no, I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have one.
Yeah. I need one bad
Yeah.
right now. But yeah, I get it. But I'm glad to see some of these old buildings being brought back to life and Angier growing. As aggravating as can be sometimes with traffic.
Is this
thing on?
and
Yeah.
different things. The food has been nice to have us some quality restaurants in town, and looking forward to more of that happening.
Well, that's cool. Hey, this has been Langdon, Pleasant, Addison, all good, coming to you from Is This Thing On, man. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next time. Later. You can say bye.
Adios.